Hello, welcome to my fourth video on the artificial intelligence course. Happens to be the fourth video of this series. Kindly, if you've not watched the previous lesson, I'll kindly recommend you to go back so you get in-depth understanding of what we are actually doing. So in our lesson today, we'll be looking at search algorithms. So let's begin. So what is a search algorithm? Search algorithm is basically made up of two words. We have searching and an algorithm. So let's take them one after the other and then look at how each of them mean. So the first one, that is searching. So what is searching? Searching simply means examining carefully or thoroughly. So looking into something carefully or thoroughly. And an algorithm simply means a procedure or formula for solving a particular problem. So what then is search algorithm? Search algorithm simply means looking out for various ways to solve a particular problem. As we all know, intelligent agents are meant to be solving problems. So they solve problem using a set of functions. So that is what we'll be looking at today. And then that is what search algorithm simply means. In search algorithms, there are some terminologies that we need to know. The first one is a search space, which is also known as a state space. So what is a search space? So this is a set of possible solutions an agent have. So taking for example, we have an agent who is in Navrongo, and then he's meant to come to Tamale. So the search space can be the agent can move from Navrongo to Tumu, from Tumu to Laura, from Laura to Wa, from Wa to Sola, and then from Sola to Tamale. So that becomes the search space of the agent. So the set of available options an agent has is what we term as the search space. Let's move on to look at the next term, that is the start space. So a start space, this is the state where the agent begins the search. So as I first said, when the agent is found in Navrongo, so the Navrongo becomes the start space. That is where the agent is starting his search. And then the third thing we'll be looking at is the goal state. So when we talk of a goal state, a function that checks whether the current state is the goal state or not. So the agent is currently at Laura, at Navrongo, and supposed to move to Tamale. So when he moves from Navrongo to Bolgatanga, the goal state checks whether the Bolgatanga or the new state the agent is the goal state. That is where the agent actually wants to be. So basically, it's a function or a formula that determines or search whether the state within which the agent is currently where the or what we actually want to achieve. Now let's move on to look at the next one, that is a solution. So when we talk of solution, this is the sequence of actions that transform the start state to the goal state. You get it? So solution basically transfers the start state to the goal state. So when we move from Navrongo to Boga and then we get to Tamale, that becomes the solution. So it transfers or transforms the start space into the goal state. And then the third one, that is action. So action is a description of all activities an agent can perform within a given state. So currently the state is in Navrongo. So he can choose to move to the left of his start space. So moving to the left becomes an action the agent can perform, or moving to the right becomes the action the agent performs. So action simply means the description of all activities an agent can perform within his given state. And then the last one is the transition model. So when we talk of transition model, is a description of what a description of what each action do. That is the transition model. So over here, he's currently at Navrongo. That is the start space. If he chooses to move to the left of his space, he has performed action by moving to the left, and then the new state now becomes Tumu. Do you get it? So transition model is giving the formula the state plus action. So when the state is in Navrongo and then perform an action to the left, the transition model transforms his state to the new state, which is Tumu. So the formula is state plus action. So when he's at this state plus the action, let's say left. So when he takes the left action, it takes the agent to Tumu, and then when he performs the right action, it takes him to Bolgatanga. So that becomes the transition model. So a description of what each action does or what each action do. And then the formula is state plus action. So transition model equals to the state, that is the current state, plus the action the agent will take. That is a transition model. Now let's move on to look at the types of search algorithm. So basically there are two types of search algorithm. We have the uninformed search algorithm and then the informed search algorithm. Now let's move on to look at the uninformed search algorithm. So uninformed search algorithm. So this the uninformed search algorithm does not contain any domain knowledge about the goal. It only has information of how to traverse a search tree. So with the uninformed search algorithm, it has no idea about the goal state, that is the destination he wants to go. He just starts exploring all possible solutions that he or she have. So example can be Abraham in the Bible when God told him, get out from your father's house and then go to the place I will show you. When he started moving from his father's house, he had no idea of where he is actually going. He just started moving to any location he will find. So with the uninformed search algorithm, they have no idea about where they are actually going or what goal they want to achieve. They just start performing using what we call a brute force. And then they start traversing a search tree. So one will ask, what is a search tree? A search tree is a representation of a search problem. Do you get it? That is just the representation of a search problem, and then it is represented in this form. So this is basically the search tree. So they just start exploring all possible paths. So assuming the agent, the start goal or the start stage of the agent is over here, he will just start move to this place, move to the last part, and then come over here, move. So they all they know is to be traversing through the search tree. They'll be moving through all the possible paths that they have. So now let's move on to look at the types of uninformed search algorithm. So the first one is the breadth first search, the depth first search being the second, and then the uniform cost search. So basically, with the uninformed search algorithm, we have three types. But out of these three, we have others, which is the bidirectional search and then the iterative deepening depth first search. Don't confuse yourself over here. We will take time to look at each of them one after the other. Now let's move on to look at the informed search algorithm. Informed search algorithm is the opposite of the uninformed search algorithm. With the informed search algorithm, it uses the idea of heuristic. So it is also called a heuristic search. So over here they have idea about the goal. So it says a heuristic function is a way to inform the agent about a direction to a goal. So the heuristic search or the heuristic is a formula or a function which tells the agent that the goal or what you want to achieve is over here. So you have this distance to cover or this distance to get there. So example of an agent which uses this kind of search is the Google map. So Google map can tell you have 5 kilometers, so they know the destination they are going, and for that matter can calculate the distance you are left to cover. And then with this one, we can use Moses as an example. When God told Moses, go to Egypt and then release my people from the land of Egypt, he knew where he was actually going. So unlike Abraham, who started moving without any location. So Abraham can be associated with the uninformed search algorithm, and the Moses can be associated with the informed search algorithm. They have idea or knowledge about where the goal is or how close they are to the goal. So let's look at the types of informed search algorithm. So with the types of informed search, we have the greedy search algorithm, we have the A star tree search, and then we have the A graph tree search. We will end here. Thank you very much for watching our video. If you find my content very useful, kindly hit on the subscribe button below, and then don't forget to share. If you have any question, put it in the comment section and then I will attend to you. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.